Morning everybody. So today I've got to tidy up in the tack room. I've tried to do myself a bit of a schedule for this year for tidying up and stuff, because I find it tends to get a bit on top of me and gets a bit can really get really bad. So I'm going to try and keep on top of it a bit this year before it all gets so bad that it takes me a long time to sort out. I have some friends here. They have been out for a little while. But I hadn't put the electric fence up across the gateway, so Basil has come back up here to do some wind sucking, as he does, and Chesney is just standing on the edge of the mud. They might be out of hay, so I think in a little while I'll take them some hay. As you can see, we still have a lot of mud. I'm hoping, still hoping, it's going to dry out again. And when it does a bit, I shall have to have a bit of a tidy up of that hay, but I can't do that at the moment. It's well, I could, but I will get stuck in the mud and then I wouldn't be able to get out again. Just walking across it is a bit dangerous at the moment. Tommy is down there and has just been having a bit of a run around again. I'm not quite sure why. There's no explaining him, I've decided. He just seems to like to run around every now and again. Chesney's not looking very impressed with life, is he really? Bless him. He and Basil have just had huge rolls, and Tommy just galloped around them. And I couldn't get my camera out quick enough, so they just make me laugh sometimes. So as you can see, the tack room is actually not that bad. I need to sort out some washing. I've got some very grubby towels that Chesney sort of stands on to try and dry his feet out, so I can put the dressing on his soles in the mornings. So they're due a wash, get some more out, so I'm set for the week. And just generally have a bit of a tidy. As I say, it's not too bad in here really, is it? I've got all my head collars hung up, and that's my towel box. Now I have a family members been clearing out their house, and they've given me a load of old towels. They're white, so not the greatest colour to be using for the sort of jobs I use them for, but they're free and they are old, so rather than chuck them away, I'm going to use them for horsey related jobs. The grooming kits are going to be ready for a clean soon. I'm probably going to do them in a couple of weeks. I think I've got a couple of days off work, so I'm planning on doing them then. And I still haven't found Tommy a box to keep his in. I'm hoping some point, they've fallen down there, I'm hoping that at some point somebody's going to start making a purple one. Oh, now I'm wrecking everything. So I just need to sort out that little pile of towels that I've just dumped in here. And these are the details of the hay hutch, and I don't really want to throw them away. They've got details on how to put the lock bolt on if there's a naughty horse. They've got to be pretty clever horses to need to have a lock bolt on, really. It's not very easy because they're quite tight, the lids. Anyway, here's my calendar for this year. So you can see I've sort of got some list of jobs to do. There's my weigh tape listing, and then they need egg counting shortly. So, and then I also have a list up there which is all my emergency information. So the farrier's number, the vet's number, the dentist number, where you get hay from, Chesney, Basil and Tommy's rug sizes, any allergies they've got. And actually the Blue Cross ladies' numbers on there as well. So if for any reason somebody needs the numbers and I'm not around here, whatever, they're just written up there. So that's quite a good thing to do, actually. Certainly in terms of the allergies, Chesney's allergic to penicillin, so that's quite a key thing if I'm not here, to make sure the vet is aware of before they inject him with that penicillin on an emergency situation. I've also acquired recently this, which I'm using as a step to hang the rugs on the rug rack out here, because they're obviously quite high up, because they need to be off the ground for Chesney's long rugs to fit. So I struggle sometimes to Basil's looking at me. I struggle sometimes to get them right on the top of there without standing on something, and I used to stand on that. But often when I need to hang the rugs, the seam is on there, so I use that step, which is not quite as high, but it still works okay. So that's all right. These gutter guards that we put up have actually been really quite good. It'll be interesting to see how they work when this big tree up here, drops lots of sort of catkins. You'll probably remember if you have watched my videos for a while, because in a couple of weeks or a few weeks time the yard just gets covered in them constantly, and they block up the drains. Actually there's one, no, that's a leaf. So it'll be interesting to see how well they work with that. There's a few sticks on there, so I probably ought to get up there with the ladders as well, so maybe put that on the list for next weekend to do that. Anyway, as I say, so they're working quite well. That's all fairly tidy up there at the moment. Tack, I'm going to give my tack a good oil, I think, because Basil's having a little bit of time off. I've been very lax. What I should have done was I should have done it as soon as he stopped work, but I haven't. So I need to do that, give that a nice oil again, and everything else isn't too bad. Now my clippers, I read the instruction book and it said about a couple of cleaning things you need to do. So I did them, but now I can't get the head back on, so I think I'm probably going to end up having to send them back to the manufacturers to get them put back together again. But I was getting really frustrated, so I put it aside and I need to go back and try again. But I've got the clippers all wrapped up in oil and everything, so it is mostly clean and ready to go away if I can get the head back on. Obviously these are a little bit muddy and stuff, and I'm probably going to take them home to wash with the towels, because they're quite muddy and yucky. And Basil's new rug, all waiting to be used. I've got to empty the bin. I've got quite a lot of carrots in here somehow, and some more towels here that were in the box. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick tidy up. The horses are having a lovely time now. They're eating hay and they've gone away. So I will show you when I've finished. Okay, so all done now. Not a huge tidy, just a little bit of a tidy up. So I've put all the towels in there, although it doesn't quite shut now, and they're obviously not all in because I've got a couple ready for this week. I'm going to use a white one for drying my hands, which I think is probably a bad idea, but never mind. Anyway, so I've tidied up. The stuff that came with the hay hutch, I've put in a little bag. I keep these bags. You often get them with stuff in from the vet. These would have come with butane, I would have thought. So I've put the screws for the hay hutch in with some instructions, and then I know what they are when I find the screws at some point in the future. The other thing I've done, and this is like a really messy list, but which might sound ridiculous, and it probably is ridiculous, but I've got a list here of Basil and Chesney's rugs, and what they look like and how thick they are, because sometimes I get confused as to which are the thick ones and which are not. So like really early in the morning when I'm trying to decide what rug to put on, sometimes I just check on that and say, oh no, that's the medium one, the blue and silver one or something, and it makes it much quicker than sorting through them, trying to find the labels and stuff and feel them, because some of them I find that the thickness doesn't always say how warm they are. I think it depends obviously on the quality and stuff, and of the rug as well, and what the lining is and stuff. So sometimes you can't just feel by thickness, and also when they've been wearing them for a while it tends to squash down a bit as well. Although I don't know if that then means that it's not as warm, because it's not got as much air in it to make a layer of warm air. I don't know. Anyway, I do that. Bit mad, but it does help early in the morning when it's pitch dark and I'm in a bit of a rush and I haven't got time to sort through loads of rugs. If the weather's suddenly going to be different, which it is quite often in this country. Basil's rug is just hanging there because this is the one he's wearing at the moment, so it's just quick, easily accessible. I don't bring the turnout rugs in here because they'll just get mud everywhere, and I try and keep the floor better. I'll try not to get too much mud in here. So as I say, I need to clean my tack. That has got to be on the agenda for next weekend, definitely. I've got the Numnah. I'm going to wash his Numnah, I decided, which is a good idea. But all the rugs were quite tidy anyway, actually. I decided to get rid of the box, which I had over Christmas because I got some apples from a neighbour's garden, and they were in there, and then I've just been putting the carrots and the apples and stuff in there rather than keeping them in my little tray. The only thing with this tray, and this is the camera wire where I've just been charging, the only problem with this is that Chesney can reach it if he sticks his head in the door, and he's a little bit of a monster, as you know. So he has this game he plays with the door, so he stands outside the door if I don't quite latch it, and then he pushes it and it comes back here and it bounces, which you probably heard, and then it goes back again. And I think he just thinks it's good fun because he does that quite often, and he also does it with the gate outside. I have these welly warmers which were given to my mum a long time ago, but actually in some ways they're quite nice because they do stop my wellies being absolutely freezing. So when it's like really cold for this country, when I first get here in the morning, I can plug them in and put them in my wellies, and it just takes the edge off them. So, because obviously when I go to put the horses in the field and when I go to empty the wheelbarrow, I have to put my wellies on. I do wear my short boots most of the time, but when I do that, I have to put my wellies on, and they're freezing cold, and if your toes are freezing anyway, so I tend to put those in. They warm them up a tiny bit, but not really very much, to be honest. So, but I've been doing that a little bit this winter, and it is quite nice. It does make a bit of difference. Anyway, and I've just had a bit of sweep. You'll see if I come out from this way. I don't know if you can see, but there's loads of mud on the floor here, which is just where I walk in and out. I try not to go in the tack room in my wellies because this happens. And of course then it's really difficult to, because there's no windows or anything, obviously there's no sort of ventilation and stuff, obviously there's no windows for security, but if you sweep it, it gets really dusty in there. So I've done a little bit of a sweep now, but this I will have to empty the room out and probably wash it out in the spring, which is really frustrating. It's what I did last year, not in the spring I don't think, I think it was later in the year I did that. Anyway, the boys are still eating hay, I think. Tommy was, but Tommy they'd all left actually. You can't really see them because they're behind a bush. They had stopped eating hay and were in the field, but they've just gone back just to be frustrating because I was going to, and that's Tommy, you can just see Tommy there. The others are right behind that bush. This is a slight curve in the field. Anyway, I have actually, and I'll just show you, I have actually today raked part of the arena as well. I have got to go back and do more. I'm not quite done half, but you can see where I've done obviously because of the sand, and I'm looking forward to when it's drier I'll be able to get the chain harrows out there and do the rest. So that is today's video. I'm pleased. I've just given the tack room a little bit of time. I've got a bit of washing to go home and do, and that's about it. So quick update, we saw Basil obviously. He's still okay. He's still maintaining similar weight really, not going up much, but he's not going down either, so that's good. I'm hoping to ride him again in the next couple of weeks. I think probably I'm going to start doing something with him again, and then hopefully the ground will be drying out and the weather will be getting better and it'll be properly feeling like spring. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.